Hey guys, welcome to Pepperina's World. I just had technical difficulties. I have to start this video all over again because I hit the button. Happy joy. This is going to be my fertility journey of 2021. We started trying off and on in 2020. Since my mom was sick, it was more off than on. And I know she wanted me to have a baby. I wanted a baby, but it was an off and on thing because, of course, I was freaking out with her health. And then she passed away, and then, like, did I really want to try after that? No. But anyway, so during 2020, I was having a little bit of issues with my cycle. I ended up finding out I had a polyp in my uterus, which I had the procedure called a hysteroscopy. This is the inside of my uterus, just nothing you can really see. They removed the polyp, no problem, no issues. You can expect mild bleeding 3 to 5 days. I was on my cycle, so it just seemed like I was just having a regular cycle. No issues, because I literally started the day of the procedure. And I was really scared because I just wanted to hurry up and get it over with. And I remember the nurse was telling me, if you start your cycle, make sure you call us because we'll have to cancel and reschedule. And I was so mad because I was like, I just want to hurry up and do the procedure so we can hurry up and try to have a baby. So I called, told them I started my cycle. What do we do? And they're like, well, let's talk to the doctor. I also called the Baylor hospital where the procedure was going to be done and told them, and they were like, it's not a problem if you get the procedure done and you're on your cycle. They were like, plenty of doctors do it, but it depends on the doctor. So I had to call my doctor, see what he said, and I was just like, it's just canceled. I should have just went back to sleep. But nope, the nurse called me back. The doctor said, go ahead, take off, come on. So I went ahead, went in. I was nervous the entire time because being overweight and being put to sleep, I know the not radiologist. Why can't I think of the word? The person who puts you to sleep. What's their name? Not radiologist. Are they the radiologist? No. Anyway, I can't think of the word. But the guy had spoke to me and told me, being overweight, there may be complications. He asked me a million questions, and I told him, thyroid issues, PCOS, and he was like, dang, you have a lot of issues, which I thought, okay, you didn't have to say that. But I was like, I don't have that many issues compared to other people, so you really shouldn't say that. But anyway, he was nice overall. When I was waiting for the procedure to be done, a song came on that my mom used to sing all the time. So, of course, I got sad because my mom just passed away last year. So that song came on, and I was like, well, I guess that's her way of telling me she's with me every step of the way during this procedure. I really don't want to make a second video, so I guess I'll tell you guys. This procedure, the hysteroscopy, was done March 19th of 2021. Then on June 2nd, no, that's when I talked to them. I don't remember. Okay. Anyway, after the hysteroscopy, the doctor said everything looked good. The polyp was blocking one of my ovaries. But other than that, everything looked good. He was like, I want you to do more testing before we test your husband and all this, which I was mad because I'm like, women, we suffer with a million different things. We have to get tested. So he suggested that we do the HSG test and the Follicle Growth Series. The Follicle Growth Series is right after your period. You go in and they start tracking your eggs, your follicles, to see how they're doing. are any of them growing big enough to ovulate, all that good stuff. That was easy. The only thing is a little uncomfortable because they put the internal little wand, I don't know what it's called, in order to see your ovaries, and they twist and turn, and I'm just like, hurry up, get it over with, because it's a little uncomfortable. But I was dreading the HSG test because I heard horror, and it looks like I brought horror upon myself because I was so paranoid about it. This procedure was only supposed to take 30 minutes, but the nurse that was in there, she was like, well, technically it can take 15 minutes because they're just going in there, inserting it, blowing the balloon up, and then inject the dye, see which way it goes, and you're done. She was like, the longest part is, you know, you come in, we talk to you, all that good stuff. She explained everything wonderfully. She was a wonderful nurse. I wish we could have become friends. She was really nice. We talked about everything. We became really good friends for being there for so long. My procedure ended up the HSG, which is the Hysterosalpingogram, something like that, pingogram. I don't know. Just look up HSG test. It's an X-ray of the uterus and fallopian tubes, so you can see, are your fallopian tubes open. It checks for blockages, small tumors, scar tissue. And this procedure is done 7 to 10 days after the start of your period. So, yeah. So, anyway, my test took 2 hours. 2 hours. It was done by a radiologist. The reason I say that, I feel, since this is a procedure that's dealing with the female body, and if you didn't go to school for this, you're lost. And just because you're a man don't mean you know where stuff is located. So this young man, he was nice. I tolerate pain well, thank God. But this procedure took 2 hours. He couldn't find my uterus. He put so much lubricant, and he put the balloon up there, and he blew it up, and it would slide back out. Well, hello, you put a ton of lube. So the nurse was like, he put so much lube that every time he blows it up, and then he'll try to take the tube out of the balloon, it's coming right back with it, because hello, gravity. If the tube is not, you know, it's dry compared to the balloon, anytime you're pulling, that balloon is wanting to go right along with it. So he couldn't find my uterus. He wasn't putting the balloon in the right place. Finally, after 45 minutes, he says, let me get another radiologist, which is another man, and try to get his help. He comes in. He's like, oh yeah, I've been on this job for such and such years, and I've done this procedure. Because the new guy, the younger guy, he looked like he hasn't been doing this long. But anyway, he comes in, does the same thing. He's like, well, I can't see your uterus. Where is it? You sure you have? Oh no, that was the first. You sure you have one? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure. I have my son, and I go to the doctor constantly. No one's ever said, hey, you know, you're missing a uterus. So yeah. So I suffered. They kept putting the balloon in and not knowing where I don't understand either where else it could possibly go. But anyway, it wasn't where it was supposed to be, in order to block the womb area, to block that, so they could inject the dye, and then the dye shoots into the fallopian tubes. They popped the balloon inside of my uterus. That hurt. I was nervous that no one took it out, and the gynecologist checked another day and said it's out, because I was freaking out. And my fertility specialist said it's not in there. Trust me. They told us everything. They made sure they took it out. And I was like, yeah. They laughed when it popped and was like, what was that sound? Well, hello. You have a balloon. You hear a pop sound. What else do you think it is? So, yeah. So after they popped the balloon and I was going, because I tolerate pain well instead of screaming, and they kept repeatedly telling me other women cry during this, and I'm like, thanks. And they're like, you're so strong. I was like, okay, can we just hurry up? And then the older doctor, radiologist, was saying, you sure you don't want to come back? No, I don't want to come back another day. My husband and son are outside waiting in the car. So I was like, I do not want to come back. So they're like, well, let's see what we can do. They took off for a long time. Finally, they come back. Oh, a gynecologist is going to come to help out. I was like, finally. So a female gynecologist comes in and she tells me to position myself differently. Because mind you, I'm on an x-ray table that has no stirrups for your legs. So I'm balancing my feet on these little thin poles that are like this, and I'm balancing them on like that for an hour and a half already. So I'm tired, I'm getting frustrated. So she tells me, put your feet together and do like a frog. She was like, because I know your legs are hurting and it'll be easier for me to see what I'm doing, because the guys were sitting at the end of the table and she was on my side, which it looks like they should have moved out the way for her, but they didn't. So they were trying to look to, it was just awkward. So I had 3 doctors, 2 nurses, or nurses assistant, or whatever. Yeah, it was a lot of people in there. So she had me like that. She inserted it. She was like, I found it. I was like, that was less than 5 minutes that she found it. She was like, okay, I'm going to inject the dye. Injected the dye. They had me tilt to the right, hold so they could take a picture. Tilt to the left, hold, take a picture, and then just straight laying, and they took a picture. And they said, I'm sorry it took so long, but your fallopian tubes are open, so you should be happy. And I was like, yeah, I'm happy. I was like, I am happy, but I'm mad because it took this long. And they're like, well, thank you for your patience, and thank you for being so sweet. And I was like, if I get a survey to write about them, it's not going to be good, because it was horrible. And I did not enjoy the procedure whatsoever. And them blowing up the balloon in me and laughing was not funny. And then the other thing, the process of the balloon inflating, that's what hurts. Then, now I know what people are talking about. The dye, for some reason, when it flows, it is kind of painful. But that freaking balloon and the dye, I don't know if I was just traumatized through the whole situation or what, but I never want to do that thing again. And I hope that doesn't happen to any of you. And if you start to notice you have a radiologist that cannot find your uterus, you need to hurry up and say, call a gynecologist. I know a woman who went through this, and I don't want to be played with for 2 hours. I want to get this taken care of, because it wasn't coming to my brain. All I kept thinking was, where's my damn uterus? Like, it's not that far. It can't be in my throat. Like, where do you think it's at? So, yeah, that was horrible. But anyway, this video is becoming way too long, a lot longer than I anticipated. So, thank you guys for watching. Was that everything I went through? I believe so. I'm gonna make another video about my fertility journey on what the doctor said after that. So just click on the next video, because I'm gonna make it now. Bye.